How's it going, everyone? XIV here, and today we are going to do the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker magical DPS role quests. So, without further ado, let's hop right in. Whew. Our aching souls. The Ishgardian delegate seeks a battle mage with courage unwavering. Ah, my Lord John, I have awaited your coming. The phenomenon wherein men turn into monsters. It pains to say that Ishgard has not been spared. A dread blasphemy has appeared in the Holy See, and to compound the people's horror, the beast resembles a dragon. 'Tis imperative that it be vanquished without delay, and to that end, we have begun assembling a hunting party. Given that fear and despair may turn our allies against us, we are being stringent in whom we choose for this duty. Yet while we have confidence in the quality of our knights. Man, I'm tired. Sorry. The mission would greatly benefit for the presence of a battle mage, one who could stand unflinching in the face of our fell quarry. We'd be hard pressed to find an individual who fits that description better than you. Will you not lend us your strength and skill? We're in your debt. Just a moment while I relay the glad tidings to command. To settle, upon arriving in Ishgard. Oh, hold on, let me just readjust my setup. Please take yourself to the Aetheryte Plaza. Lord Artorial will be there to save you. May the Fury speed your way. I've had Red Mage at level 90 for weeks now, and I've just been like, eh. It's probably months, actually. Ooh. So, like, a pseudo-magical girl outfit, oh. It's great. Wait. John, I've been expecting you. Words cannot express how heartening it is to have you fighting beside us. Allow me to echo that sentiment. Emmerich! Greetings, my friend. Unless you wonder, Lord Artorial and I are leading the effort to deal with the blasphemy. With the capable self in the fold, I have no doubt that we shall succeed. Without further ado, I shall brief you on the situation. 'Twas a handful of days after the first beasts appeared in Razat Han. I knew it just was bisected. An Elysian man was observed at the hoplon in the pillars, walking with an unsteady gait. All of a sudden, he buckled over as if in pain, and before anyone knew what was happening, he had transformed into a terrible draconic beast. At the mere sight of this, many who chanced to be present also turned, and regrettably the temple lights were forced to put them down. The blasphemy itself, however, took wing and fled. Profane Fafnir, we have chosen to call it, after the dragon man of Ishgardian myth. The fuck is going on my phone? Anyway. Since that day, the beast has oft been sighted in the skies above Ishgard. It does not attack, only circles menacingly for a time, ere disappearing again. Alas, these brief visitations are enough to cause more people to turn, and for fear and panic to spread further. As part of our investigation, we have sought to identify the man who became the blasphemy, but thus far we have learned naught. We have, however, identified a common thread between those who subsequently turned. All were people of fervent faith, people such as priests and inquisitors. When the truth of our nation's history was laid bare, the legitimacy of the church was called into question. Many Ishgardans struggled to reconcile the revelations with their beliefs, and none more so than the pious. Such men and women, we posit, would be more susceptible to despair, and therefore the transformation. We must find a way to stop it. Ishgard has only just emerged from a 1,000-year war, and we cannot suffer another great tragedy, much less so soon. In order to attain a better understanding of the situation, we intend to speak with a member of the clergy. The sole individual who survived witnessing the blasphemy's birth without being turned. Clem is his name, and he's a deacon at St. Raymondaud's Cathedral. Come, let us seek him out there at once. Lord Emmerich, Lord Artorial, and the Savior of Ishgard besides, you do me great honor. I'm Clem, and I serve as a deacon here at St. Raymondaud's Cathedral. I understand you were among those at the Hoplin when the incident occurred. We give thanks to the Fury for your merciful preservation. We now seek to prevent the blasphemy from wreaking further havoc and would appreciate any details you can provide. Though we are to make you recall unpleasant memories, will you not recount to us what you witnessed that day? I need to lose weight. Very well. We are presently relocating the vault's libraries to the cathedral, in case you are unaware. We had finished delivering a batch of tomes and were on our way to bring over another. As we approached the Hoplin, we noticed a young man walking unsteadily. No sooner had he come to an abrupt halt than he transformed into a draconic beast. The fiend fixed us with a menacing glare, and it was all we could do to find our wits and flee. But to my compounding horror, my brethren who were with me began turning into monstrosities as well, one after another. Praise the fury that you at least were spared, Deacon Clem. I cannot imagine how frightening the experience must have been. Who the heck are you? Bishop Vartanoy. Forgive me if I interrupt. I was informed that our stalwart protectors were present and wish to express my gratitude. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your service, and I pray that we shall soon be free of this scourge. Indeed, if there's aught we might do to aid your efforts, you need but say it. I don't trust him. You're most kind, your grace. I don't trust him. He's a bishop. Ah, my character doesn't trust him either. That was Bishop Vartanoy, the head of St. Raymondaud's and a member of the Synod. With the seat of the Archbishop vacant, he is, in effect, the highest authority in the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Oh no! He's a clergyman of power! I trust him even less now. This is so, yet in spite of his elevated station, he remains as kind and humble a man as any I have ever known. Like his grace, I would do all that I can to help shepherd our people through this uncertain time. To that end, there's a request I would make of you. If you could spare a moment, consider it. Of course, if it is within our power, we should be glad to offer you aid. Thank you. In the wake of the transformations, a group of clergymen fled the city in fear. Yet though they sought refuge in the wilderness, they put themselves at the mercy of the elements and fell fiends both. Given that the cause of the transmission is not clear, I think theirs was a decidedly unwise decision. I wish to set out and find them, but I'm not trained in the ways of war. As such, I require those who are to accompany me in the search. So that is the way of it. You ever get like a piece of popcorn stuck in your teeth? That's what it feels like right now. So that's the way of it. Suffice to say, we will help. Do you know whither your fellows may have headed? The Western Highlands, I believe, between Gorgain Mills and Hemlock. There's no shortage of men dwellings in the area. Very well. Time being of the essence, I propose we split up and scour separate areas. John, if you could escort the good deacon to Gorgain Mills, Lord Toro and I will tend to Hemlock. Bro, we're still on the first quest, and I haven't done anything. Ugh. First place to look has to be inside. You know, you gotta assume intelligence, even though we're dealing with, you know. You. Ah, I see you found them. Yes, and none the worse for wear, thank the Fury. My friends, forgive us if we have given cause for alarm. We come out of concern for your well-being. Do you understand why you quit the city? We fear you may have placed yourselves at greater risk by coming here. His Grace, Bishop Fartanoy, too, worries for your health and prays for your swift return. So please, will you not allow us to escort you to the Holy See? I assure you, you will be much safer there than in this wretched place. Servants of the Fury will never be safe in the city, don't you see? This is your fault. You and your accursed revolution. The people disdain us, mock us behind our backs, and spit in our faces. And now someone is conspiring to transform us into monstrosities. Enemies of the church, I'll wager, emboldened by your deeds. So no, I will not go back to Ishgard. I'd sooner freeze to death than suffer your pity. What? All I've ever done was in service to her. I am a good man. I do not... She cannot forsake me. Except you're not a good man, and Alone Preserve. John, we cannot allow him to harm any others. Give chase and do what you must. We will remain here and keep the others calm. Dumbasses are panicking when panic causes untold horrors. All right, let's go kill a priest. Is it done, John? My thanks. What happened is most regrettable, but we must be grateful that no one else came to harm. While you were gone, the deacon was able to convince the others to return to the city. Let's escort them back at once, and then reconvene at the congregation to consider our next course of action. For our purposes, we have the use of the strategy room. Announce yourself to the guard without, and he will show you in. This is something that pains me. On, like, a fundamental level. Because it's not really fair. The sins of of not even our forefathers, just the sins of a the sins of people from other stars, technically 10,000 years ago, are being wrought upon us now. Verestone ready. White mana. Oh, white mana. So, whatever. Anyway. Lords Emmerich and Artorial await you within the strategy room. Will you be joining them now? Lest you wonder, we have taken the clergymen to St. Raimonod's to rest and recover. If truth be told, the thought that they may still succumb to despair and turn remains at the forefront of my mind. The risk could be greater still, were we to keep them at arm's length and deny them the comfort of the church. Indeed, from the words you spoke, the Inquisitor yearned for the days of old. He and others like him can scarcely be blamed, since the truth of the nation's founding and the Archbishop's machinations were made public knowledge, the church has been in turmoil. But it's not the church's fault, though. Though we have made great strides in separating religion and state, there has been far less progress in the reformation of the church. For our faith has been everything to us, our purpose, our comfort. 'Tis not easy thing to reconcile one's beliefs with the betrayal of our spiritual leaders. Thus torn between their hearts and minds, many Ishgardians feel lost, and none more so than members of the clergy, whose faith was once unshakable. Little wonder, then, that the most dedicated and devout are like to turn. So it seems, but further investigation is needed ere we draw a definite conclusion. With the war's end, Ishgard has set out on a new path. The choices we make now shall determine our course for the future. Come what may, we dare not squander the chance we have fought so hard to attain. Once the returned clergymen have sufficiently calmed down, I shall have the deacon speak with them, that we might gain insight into their individual plights. Good. Meanwhile, I should take the opportunity to brief my men on recent developments. Pray take a moment's rest, my friend. You have earned it. When you are ready to continue our work, you may seek us out here. No forgiveness, no deliverance. No forgiveness and no deliverance. I really sorry. Artorel is eagerly awaiting Deacon Clem's report. Ah, John, your timing could not be better. Deacon Clem has finished speaking with the rescued clergyman, and will be here shortly to share his findings. Lord Emmerich, too, is on his way. Let us wait for them. Deacon Clem, we thank you for making the inquiries on our behalf. So there's no imposition in the least. As I said, I'm glad to do all I can. So it is our understanding that those escorted back were all close acquaintances of the Inquisitor who turned. Like him, they too had been the subject of harassment by certain quarters of the populace. Is this correct? It is, I'm afraid, and they are far from alone. Men of the cloth were once afforded respect and deference as servants of Halone, but now they are openly reviled by many. We were complicit in perpetuating terrible lies, this is true, but we too were misled. We too are victims, yet we are regarded by some as criminals. Well, do I understand the people's anger, but it saddens me to think that they would thus lash out at their fellow man, especially who needs solidarity most of all. Though I can imagine your plight, I would not presume to fully grasp your pain. Will you tell us of the challenges you and yours have had to face since the war's end? Like all sons and daughters of Ishgard, we dreamed of peace in our lifetime, but now that it has come, we find we have little cause to rejoice. Our faith has long been the foundation of our lives, and overnight that foundation has been crippled by fractures, beyond repair for some. To learn that we had been deceived, and that we had unwillingly deceived others in turn, was devastating. We who had once been shepherds to men found ourselves lost lambs, bereft of surety and wanting for guidance. We have languished in darkness, all of us. Yet I have faith that the church will redeem itself, that it will find a new path and again become a beacon of hope. Beacon of hope for the people. I see. Thank you for sharing this with us. Your testimony has confirmed our suspicions. According to our allies, that which causes people to turn is none other than their despair and anguish. If it wasn't before, it is now more clear why members of the clergy are among the transformed. That you did not, I believe, is due to your unwavering faith in the church. In light of this, we would ask for your continued cooperation. Of course, anything to help my brethren. Now that we have established the cause, that leaves us with the mystery of profane Fafnir's identity. The progenitor of these troubles. Could he too have been a man of the cloth? From what I recall of his garb, I doubt it. He was dressed in the common fashion, and inadequately against the cold besides. To say that something of the individual may remain in the blasphemy, influencing its behavior. If we can determine what instincts drive profane Fafnir, we may learn who it once was, and this knowledge, I believe, will prove vital in our efforts to stop it. I mean, just get me on Resvelger's back and... boom! Just... very holy and just... Deacon Clam, we ask that you reach out to your fellow clergymen. Please do what you can to ease their anxieties. Understood. As I have ever done, I shall provide what comfort I can to those in need. Meanwhile, we must make it a priority to identify the blasphemy. To that end, I would seek out more eyewitnesses. The Hoplon is a busy place at any given time. Some ordinary citizens are bound to have been present as that tragic event unfolded. Propose we make inquiries in the pillars. If you can attend to the Hoplon, Lord Toro and I will look in the surrounding areas. Dude, I got that drip. The tribunal. Stayed citizen. I was impressive for the incident at the Hoplin, but a young man poorly dressed for the cold, that I did see. I recall him well because an aide from St. Vendros was searching for him. He was a patient in the infirmary and by coincidence had the same name. The dragon that appeared at the Hoplin, I saw with my own eyes. One moment an illusion, the next terrible beast. He was a heretic, I take it. Absolutely useless. Like, actually just useless to talk to that dude. He used one of the forbidden words. I say forbidden words, but it's just a word with no meaning now. Like, legitimately, that word has no meaning now. Because of how, like, poorly used it is. No, I didn't see that dragon, nor would I have wished to, frightful as it sounds. They say it wasn't a divine attack, but if not, then what was it? Speak with Emmerich. Can I just jump from here? Ain't no need to walk all around. I could just jump. Take a bit of there you go, John. Did your search yield any fruit? Patient of the Firmament's infirmary, you say? Among those with whom I spoke, one claims to have an innocent individual fitting that description. A man walking in a stupor who did not seem to feel the cold. If he had wandered straight out of the infirmary, it would explain his state of attire. Yes, I dare say we have found our blasphemy, but to think that his name should be Vandro. It is the same as that of former Heavens Ward Commander Sir Vandro de Rochemond, for whom the infirmary is named. Sir Vandro, however, retired from his station at ripe old age some years ago. 'Tis not like to have been him. In any case, we have a lead. I shall head to the infirmary at once. Pray wait for me in the broom. The Forgotten Knight. I do miss Ishgard. This is Lovric, the aide who is in charge of Vandro. Have you found him? Well, please say you have. Uh, we have not, I'm afraid, but we seek to and hope that you could tell us more about him. May we ask how he came to be at the infirmary? He was found by patrol in the Central Highlands. After being treated for his hurts, he was brought to us for convalescence. Being in the prime of his years, he had been doing well, but then... In prime of his years, well accounted, he's an old man. It seems safe to assume it isn't Sir Vandro. Oh no, he's definitely a different person, as I told Lord Arturo. And though he gave his name as Vandro, he seemed rather confused, and we had no means to confirm his identity. In his state, he shouldn't be wandering about on his own. Please, you must find him. Oh god, does he have amnesia? The man recently turned into a beast at Hopland. Regret to say, it may have been Vandro. What? No, how can this be? Is there aught else you could tell us? Things he may have said or done while in your care? While I was still unconscious, he would often ramble, though most of it was incoherent. He mentioned the Archbishop many times. Oh, and he spoke of a bishop too, Bishop of Vartanoi. I assumed he was a pious man, given this. I see. Thank you for your cooperation. We will continue our investigation, and should we confirm what became of Vandro, inform you forthwith. Well, things are not looking good for that for ye old bishop. Y'all, if I'm proven right and that he's a not good person, I'm gonna be very smug about it. Let's turn to the congregation for now. The congregation of the something or others. You have a spam call because. Of course I do. Hey, it's the end of the quest. Blah blah blah. Oh, okay. Should we go show in? The mystery remains, but we are one step closer to identifying the man who became Profane Fafnir. Indeed, though he did not at first appear to be a member of the clergy, his words betray a fervent faith. Now said he should speak not only of the Archbishop, but Bishop Vartanoi specifically. Perhaps he was personally acquainted with his grace. In light of the possibility, I believe we should speak with him directly. Agreed. I'll request an audience, but his grace has many demands upon his time. It may be a while before we are seen. Should you have other business, pray feel free to attend to them in the meantime. The healer one will be done using media because she's more likely to end up with level 90 before I end up level 90 with Ast. Only justice, only vengeance. The look of relief upon Oratorial's face bespeaks your time of arrival. John, excellent timing as ever. Deacon Clem has just sent word that Bishop Forden will see us now, by which I mean right this instant. It is extremely short notice, I know, but it would not do to miss the opportunity to learn how he and Vendro may be connected. Now I should keep his grace waiting. Lord Emmerich is already on his way to St. Raymondaud's Cathedral. Come, let us hurry there ourselves. Leave the strategy room. This is level 87, right? 87, yes. It goes all the way up to 90. And then once I do the 90 quest, I can then dye the job gear with like the heck's the point. My lords, I am so sorry. I informed His Grace that you were making your way hither, but surely before you arrived, you called a urgent business and had to leave the cathedral at once. He cannot have yet gone far, though, so if you wish, search for him in the hopes you can still steal a moment of his time. Tyrannus and I only depart with such haste. What business could be so pressing? I like this bishop man's less and less by the second. My question is, that very simple. So, he's obviously down at the bottom, probably. So we're gonna make the jump. Right. Because if I turn this way, no. It's this way. Right. So I'm just gonna go down. Oh, I don't even have to make the jump. I can just walk. He's literally right there. Vartino and Ortorio. Well now, even the Savior Escort should be here. Your Grace, perhaps this simply our misunderstanding, but we were under the impression that you had granted us an audience. Lord Speaker, rest assured I was just about to return to the cathedral. There's no need, Your Grace. This will not take long. As we have heard, we are investigating a young man named Vendro. Is he known to you? No, I cannot say he is. With the exception of the former Archimandrite, I am sure I know no one by that name. But mine and the archbishops are known to many, yes? Perhaps the youth took inspiration from public services over which we presided. Goodly soul that he is, full glad am I that his faith was of comfort to him in sickness. And I pray to Halone that he will soon be found in good health. Now then, if there's nothing else, I shall turn to my duties. Ah, the echo! Fear not, your eminence. I shall carry on your legacy. We have completed the preparations as per your instructions, but are you certain this will work? It will. It must. Lord Emmerich spoke the truth when he revealed the Archbishop sought primal powers to strengthen the people's faith. I could not bring myself to believe it, not at first, but in the course of cataloging His Eminence's personal articles, I came upon this journal. There he had written that, through abundant ether and fervent prayer, it is possible to make gods of men. All the power it requires lies in this place, this as is law. But channeling the essential elements into the soulless flesh and sword we found, we shall summon forth King Thordan and his knights 12, and by his blessing Ishgard shall be restored to its former glory. Oh, I knew the bishop was sus! Wait, that means La Habreo's freed. Probably. Uh-oh. What is this? It's just an ordinary man, scarcely changed from before. Uh, His Eminence, I must protect. No, no, this isn't right. Confound it, perhaps I've overlooked something. I must return to the Holy See and review the journal. Your Grace, what shall we do with this thing? Leave it. 'Tis a failure without use or value. The denizens of this place will deal with it soon enough. So, the bishop committed treason. John, are you well? Were you perchance granted a vision of the past? An attempted summoning of King Thordan and his Knights 12? Your Grace, you should know full well that summoning is strictly forbidden. You will accompany us to the congregation and explain yourself. I have dedicated my life to the church, conducted my affairs in accordance with the scriptures, and taught others to do likewise. But you took it all from us, tore down everything that defined us. You cannot know how it feels to have your very existence rejected, to be forsaken by your community, to be denied by your society. Well, I deny you and this justice. I deny in Ishgard where the church has no place. I refuse to accept it. You hear me? I refuse to accept it. No hesitation! Emmerich just comes in with the kill! Your Grace, no! That it should come to violence yet again. Would that your hand had not been forced, my lord. Deacon Clam should not be alone at this time. I shall remain with him while tending to the aftermath. When things have settled, I will return to the congregation. Pray go on ahead and get some rest. We should know by now how to forcibly trigger the thing. So why don't we just go in and force a continuous echo? We should know how to do it by now. We did learn from what's her name? The Foundation! The Foundation! How fares the deacon? Well enough, given the circumstances. Though understandably shaken, he's more determined than ever to help his fellows. Truly, he is possessed of a stout heart. But to think that even a member of the Synod could succumb to despair in turn. The crisis gripping the church is far graver than I had imagined. In pushing for such an abrupt separation of religion and state, we may have exacerbated the growing divide between the clergy and the general populace. John, will you recount in full that which you witnessed in your vision? Yes, I recounted Bishop Asshat committing treason against the realm, not just the Ishgard. That he should seek to use one of Alec's unholy abominations to create a primal. Yet that which manifested was not like the being you fought, but rather retained the form of a man, one driven by the desire to protect the Archbishop. We may safely assume the bishop did not have sufficient ether. Bereft of Nidhogg's eye, the sword of Ascalon no longer has such power. Nor does that of the warring triad remain to be harnessed, thanks to your valorous intervention. But if the summoning failed, how did the clone come to possess life, and what purpose drives it? A lack of ether notwithstanding, the necessary components were present for a summoning. Perhaps the ritual itself was a success, and the vessel, though imperfect, arose as a champion of the Archbishop. Yet how did he come to be in the Central Highlands? You believe that this clone and the man who became the blasphemy are one and the same? Nay, I merely speculate, yet considering what we know of the clone and Vandro, it would seem a likely possibility. Whatever the truth may be, it will not elude us forever. But first I must lay some groundwork for the next phase of our investigation. God's permitting, I will have news to share ere long, so pray look in on us when you can. I really do wish it was more, Gil. Like, I don't know what it is the game does not want to reward us with Gil. Especially from quests that are more or less, mandatory. Wills unending, faith unbending. Arturo has the end of blasphemy on his mind. Boost. John, you are ever a sight for sore eyes. Ill tidings, my friends. I dispatched several lights to find the clergyman who aided in Bishop Varsinoy's summoning attempt. Regrettably, when confronted, all turned and had to be put down. Without their accounts, how then to ascertain that the clone and Evandro are the same individual? Maintaining the assumption that they are, perhaps we should instead consider how Evandro may have found his way to Kurthus. According to John's visions, he was abandoned as his lot, but what did he do afterwards? Then there is but one way to ascertain the truth. We follow his trail. I shall go and search for the clone in Az's law. If he's still there, then we are dealing with a different individual. Splendid idea. We leave the floating continent in your capable hands. Meanwhile, John and I shall retrace Vandro's steps whence he first appeared. Upon being found in the Central Islands, he was taken to Camp Dragonhead. Let us begin by making inquiries there. 5, 86, 87. Now we got 88, 89, and 90. Camp Dragonhead. Oh, I remember trying to get into Ishgard once. When I was doing ARR. Cause I was following the map, right? It was like, oh, you need to go to this place for this item, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, now, if it isn't the late Lord Horshafan's dear Fred, is there something you require? Ah, yes, the Mr. Man. I was among those who attended him. He was not tired for the snow, much less the snowstorm, in which he had been caught and was suffering from frostbite. Being extremely cold, they may mistakenly feel that they are warm and disrobed. That might explain his state of undress. No one has taught you about Vandro's state when he was found. Investigating the stranger we found, are you? I was involved myself, so I can't tell you much about the fellow. Case, it's of interest. Earlier the same day, I caught sight of an airship flying dangerously low. It soon disappeared into the brisk snowstorm, looking none too steady. An airship flying low. The boy! Ah, it's 7 hours CV. What brings you to our humble camp this day? Military man who was found in the wilds. Yes, I know the one. I was with the patrol that chanced into north of here at Providence Point. He's unconscious and in a bad way, and we really bore him back to camp. After doing what we could for him, we set him on to the city. House for Tom. There you are. We're able to learn aught of interest. A mysterious man found collapsed after an airship was seen flying low. Yes, scouts I heard are consistent with yours. I, for one, am curious about the fate of this unknown airship. To that end, I've arranged a pair of black chocobos for us, the more efficiently to scour the area. We shall continue our search to Providence Point, where Vandro is said to have been found. If you're ready, let us be off. That's such a... I feel like I could have flown faster. Futotante. Ugh, it's Monday, so it's Futotante Day, but like, I'm only one episode in, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna drop this anime before it ends. Nothing so far, let's continue northeast. Ugh. Although, okay, I guess I see the reasoning for this. this particular aspect where we're flying via an animation, it's because some people may not have chased down the ether currents. Although this is an area that is ARR, so you should be able to fly here regardless. Is that a dragon? Bro, there's no way. By the Fury! It's the blasphemy! I love it. I keep looking at my chat as if I'm streaming, but I'm recording, not streaming, and so it's just weird. I really should stop grabbing our head like that, but you know. It's like, His Eminence must protect His Eminence. I would prefer you didn't. I find a lake. Hello, they be praised. How are you feeling? Strong enough to speak? Can you tell me your name? My name is Zephyrin, no, Cherubert, or was it Veluin? Holocrane? So your name's swirling my mind, and voices that reject them. Is there none they will accept? Are you alright? Vandro. My name is Vandro. Well, now that's the same as our infirmary. I dare say fate has guided you to us. So, Vandro, if you're feeling up to a little conversation, can you tell me about yourself? Anything else you remember? Anything at all? Proud son of House Zamayo, nay, a devout servant of Halone, who lives through the rush of battle. The pleasure of inflicting pain, the attention of the maidens to fight beside my brothers in arms. Lowborn runt, whose every effort went unrewarded, whose very name disqualified him from ever leading the Temple Knights. Where his eminence raised me up, granting me a place at his side. From that day forth, I pledged my sword to his service, pledged my very being, my life to be offered up in defense of his. I am a knight of the Heaven's Ward, sworn to protect and serve the Archbishop. Oh, you're a knight. Forgive me if that sounded rude, but I had no idea. And while yes, your memories may be a bit muddled, I'm afraid I must inform you that the Heaven's Ward have not been seen in quite some time, and are presumed dead. And the Archbishop, well, he is most certainly no longer of this world. But the important thing is you're safe now, and we'll help you get back on your feet. Speaking of which, let me bring some food and water. You must be absolutely famished. Oh, I'll get it now. The Archbishop dead. No, no, this cannot be. How can I still be alive when he is not? I must find him. John! For the glory of King Thornton! Another vision, I take it. Yeah, we just got confirmation. It is Vendra. Let's make for Ishgard. I expect that Lord Artorial will return soon, if he has not already, and we should both be glad to hear your tale. Let us go. Man, I've been recording a lot today. I've recorded 2 vids on the non-gaming channel, this, and I still have to record a review for Sky SC in the 3rd. But that can wait until later. If I find time, I'll record it, but like it's no rush. It's already hella late at this point. So I could just record it whenever. After I finish this quest line, I'm probably gonna relax some. Because I've been like wound up a bit today and yesterday. Head to the strategy room. I should be glad to show you in. We've said this a million and one times. It's fine. 2 more quests. 2 more quests. Two more quests. Ah, John, I pray your search was more productive than mine own. Anyway, everyone is here. Excellent. So you're able to find our clone and has a slot. Nay, not but the discarded Ascalon remain. How fared you with your own efforts in the Central Highlands? In the course of retracing Evangel's steps, we came upon the wreck of the Soleil. I suspect he found the vessel abandoned as a slot and tried to use it to return to Ishgard. But he crashed en route and was subsequently rescued by patrol from Camp Dragonhead. So it seemed, and the Archbishop's airship was not the only thing we found. Profane Fafnir was there too. The creature chose to flee, but not before John had a vision of Vaindro's past. Go on, my friend, share with us what you witnessed. We know what triggered it. We know what triggered it. Let's heck and go. All the pieces fit, and it is as you surmised, my lord. Vaindro and the clone are one and the same, and in his despair he turned into the blasphemy. Yet the confusion he exhibited when asked his name, 'tis as if he was unsure of his own identity. According to the Scions, Prime was retaining the memories of the previous incarnations. From this, it may be assumed that the clone harbors the memories of all those who became King Thornton and his Knights 12. Are we saying like all the previous archbishops and the all the previous Knights 12? Or are we saying everybody involved in the summit, the turning of them into primals? Though he struggled to reconcile these conflicting memories, he managed to settle on the name Vaindro. The voices within were clearly in agreement when facing John, the mere sight of whom drove the blasphemy to flee. Above all, however, they share in the desire to protect the Archbishop. This desire was seared into Vaindro's very being, and when he learned that he no longer had a purpose, Pop goes the weasel. The Heavens Ward took up arms against us in Ishgard. By their hand were we robbed of one of our finest knights, and a dear friend. Even so, I would not wish such a terrible fate upon them. The selfsame fate inflicted upon full many clergymen, and a fate I fear ordinary citizens will succumb to if we fail to act. The people will not soon forget the betrayal of our church's leadership, nor should they, but absent the comfort and stability once afforded to them by the institution, many have become lost and are all too vulnerable to despair. The church is supposed to be a source of comfort, but it's been twisted to be what it is in modern day. I thought as much myself, my friend, but to hear you say it as well, indeed. When the ground upon which we stand crumbles, we must find the strength to move forward, even should it cause us pain to do so. Lord Artorial, at the next house session, I shall call for an ecumenical council to be held. My lord, such a gathering is reserved for... Oh, you intend for the church to codify new doctrine. Since the separation of religion and state, we have refrained from interfering in church affairs. But if the church is to remain a part of Ishgardian society and continue serving the people, it must reconsider its role and formally address recent revelations. I would call for this council not as the Lord Speaker, but as a humble adherent of the faith. Long had I considered whether such measures were necessary, but lacked courage to set them in motion. I now have it thanks to you. I shall tend to the necessary preparations at once. Among other things, we must reach out to those of the clergy who are amenable to reform. Ask for patience in the meantime. 2 more quests! 2 more quests! Let's fucking go! Boom pada poo. Oh, mighty fury, guide us to victory. The set of Artoriel's jaw betrays a hint of anxiety. We're gonna get fucking chowder. 1,000 gil and some chowder. Ah, John, owing to Lord Emeric's swift action, I'm pleased to say that the Ecumenical Council will soon be held. In case you are unaware, the Council is the highest assembly in the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Its purpose to deliberate and decide upon doctrine. The previous one was held no less than 80 years ago, and 4 archbishops have since come and gone. As such, most Ishgardians know little of it, save that which they have read in the historical records. Traditionally, the archbishop and members of the synod would meet behind closed doors. In light of Bishop Vartino's fate, however, this time the doors will be thrown open to the public. Indeed, for the first time in history, all men and women of the faith may have a hand in shaping the mission and the teachings of the church. It is my hope that you will also join us in this endeavor. Deacon Clem, allow me to express our gratitude for your efforts in facilitating the council. We appreciate the difficulty of your position. I merely heed my conscience and my faith, my lord. Acting in Bishop Vartinoy's stead, I shall do all within my power to see that the church may serve the people once more. Where is the Lord Speaker, if I may ask? He stepped outside for a moment, saying that he wished to gather his thoughts ahead of the council. The hour draws nigh, however. John, I shall proceed to the vault with the good deacon. In the meantime, may I ask you to find Lord Emmerich? He should be at the last vigil, I believe. The last vigil! I kind of want to play Smash now, but like... Oh boy, playing Smash. I don't know if I'd rather play Pokemon or play Smash. Yeah. I need not say any more than that. It's like, that's all I need to say. My boy, Emmerich! Let's go. We got a bunch of clergymen to beat up. I mean, speak to. Oh, 'tis you, my friend. Is it time already? I see. My apologies for making you come and fetch me. I've been thinking, John, on the path I've chosen to walk, and on those who have been left behind as a consequence of my actions. Those who died fighting, those burdened with boundless grief, those deprived of position and purpose. Like any nation, Ishgard is made up of disparate souls with disparate beliefs. Without an enemy to unite us, we recall the differences we once set aside out of necessity, found amongst our old friends, new ideological foes. The future I had envisioned, 'tis far more difficult to secure than I ever imagined. What must I do for our people to live in harmony, for our nation to move forward as one? Such questions I have been pondering. We should begin making our way to the council. Shall we continue our conversation while we walk? Right in, then let us be off. If it is agreeable, I'd like to look on Fort Tom's manor. Keep him on your side and proceed to quest objectives. You can leave him behind while entering a different area by speaking with him, selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have him coming again, return and speak to him at the original location. Feels like another age that you and yours were no more than foreign wards of House Fortom. Actual fact, it may be considered so. For recalling set in motion a chain of events that brought an end to the Dragonsong War, ushering in a new age of harmony. You paved the way for meaningful change in our nation, and for that you shall ever have my gratitude. Now then, shall we continue on to the architects. Look at these RuneScape looking ass people. Although I am pretty sure that's because of my settings. King Thorin's Knights 12, the murderers of Ratatoskr. Since the truth of the ancient cry came to light, many have demanded that these images be torn down. Yet though what our founding fathers did was wrong, neither is it right to simply expunge them and their deeds from history. To do so would be to deny our people's part in what followed for 1,000 years. We have the chance to forge a new future, but we as a nation must decide how we will confront our past. Forgive me, I was lost in thought yet again. Let us join Deacon Clem at the vault. I actually want to test something. System configuration, graphic settings. I have everything set so low right now. I'm running like 4 streams in the background and I'm still getting 30 FPS. It just dropped to 26. That's scary. Granted, I'm never supposed to be running that many streams all at once. I don't want to go into the vault. Like... There you are, my friends. The council is about to convene. Let's take our place in the audience hall. This isn't going to be voiced, which is going to be annoying. I'm going to have to sound pompous. Which I can't really do, so. I love that. Blue, black, red, blue. Esteemed members of the clergy and honored adherents of the faith, I thank you all for your attendance. In recent days, our nation has been racked by a series of tragedies. Those among us who do Halone's work have been transformed into abominations. This dreadful phenomenon has been brought about by the final days. It is upon our despair and anguish that it feeds. Thus, if we are to prevent further tragedy, we must strive to ensure that all Ishgardians Clergymen and citizens alike abide with peace and love for one another in their hearts. To that end, have I called this ecumenical council, the first of generations, that we might together determine a path forward for the church and our society as a whole. Since antiquity, the Ishgardian Orthodox Church served the people in two respects: as the Fury's spear to strike at the heart of dragonkind, and as the Fury's shield to safeguard the souls of men. But now that we are at peace with the Dravanians, the Church need no longer serve as the spear, and so we must now reconsider how we might better serve as a shield for our brethren. The hierarchy must be reformed, and for that we need accountability. The upper echelon must be stripped of rank at a minimum. Investigations conducted, trials held, if the evidence is sufficiently damning, and then we may turn our attention to their doctrine of lies. Proletarian? As our predecessors did before us, we of the Synod have ever sought to interpret the scriptures to the best of our ability, and thence conveyed Halone's will to the people. Such fervent pursuit of retribution at the expense of doctrine would come also at the expense of our faith. I love how we just got done saying negative emotions will create abominations, and this man's about to go full Angie boy. Anxious citizen. Have we won this war to lose our souls? O Halone, are we outside your grace? We just got done saying bad feelings make abominations, and y'all are feeling all the negativity. This bodes ill. At this rate, someone might turn. Since the war's end, the church and the faithful have stood at a crossroads, unable to take the next step forward. His Grace, Bishop Vartanoy, may walk in Alone's halls, was one such soul, and in his longing for simpler times, he resorted to using forbidden magics. He succumbed to despair. In our minds, we renounce the lies upon which our nation was built, but in our hearts, we yearn for the righteousness, misguided though it was, that gave us comfort and purpose for so long. So let us not forget who we were. Let us confront the mistakes of the past and learn from them, that we do not repeat the mistakes of our forefathers. Yeah, Alona has not abandoned you just yet. But you're kind of asking for it, though. As fervently as we believed in our sacred duty, we struggle to accept the church's deception and embrace change. The legacy of Thornton weighs heavy, and there is the temptation to simply cast it aside like a mantle that suits us no longer. Yet that would dishonor the sacrifice of those who went before, countless souls who served the people with purest intent. And so heavy though it may be, let us together bear this burden as we set forth anew. Our friend John risked life and limb to reveal the truth to us. The truth that our legends and our scripture were tainted by betrayal, but not wholly corrupted. Yeah, I lost a friend to this nonsense! Though the great walls and towering spires of our city may have been built with murder and deception, they rest upon a foundation immutable and true, our devotion to Alone, whom we have worshipped since before our forefathers settled these lands. The church is a font of practical wisdom, and its teachings guide us in our daily lives. Such things define our faith no less than the lies. We can acknowledge our sins without renouncing our religion. Aye, and without rejecting who we are. A comprehensive review of scripture as well as historical literature will be necessary. Revisions as appropriate must be made to ensure that the truth of our past is preserved for future generations. Exactly! And I'm notoriously anti-religion. Anyway. With your peerless knowledge of the church doctrine, I dare say none is better suited to leading that effort than you. I also expect that many eyes will be required to pore over all the tomes. I know many idle men and women of faith who would jump at the chance to do Halona's work once more. I love that! Me, the anti-religion mans. Although, to be fair, the deities do exist in this world, so... religion's not as cursed as it is IRL. That day so very long ago, I had no answer to my father's words, but it seems the people had it within them all along. I wish I had, like, rectangular rimmed glasses, as opposed to the, like, ovalish shape that I have now. I look weird without glasses. Even in Final Fantasy XIV, I just don't like it. We're almost done with this series. We're almost done with this series. We're only like a 40% after this next quest, but still. The council went better than I had dared hope. Truly, while the details remain to be decided, 'twas a resounding success. Your words helped everyone to find common ground. I know not how to thank you. Much credit must go to John. In the face of great hardship, never did he hesitate to press on. And our people have not forgotten this. Indeed. Well do I remember the day you flew into Ishgard upon a dragon's back. In making possible the impossible, you inspired us all. In you we glimpsed the fury, a visage of courage in the face of uncertainty. Looking to your example, we shall endeavor to bring about change to the church, for the future of all Ishgardians. There will, of course, still be those souls who struggle to rise above the mire of despair, but my fellows and I shall be there to take their hand in faith and love. Honestly, some of them just need a hug. Probably. That might just be me, though. For what is faith if not salvation? Well, that's a topic for another video. On another channel. While I'd best return to the cathedral, we have much and more to do. But ere I forget, I've tracked down that which you requested. Some repairs will be necessary, but it will be seen to with all haste. Alright, let's get to it! I have a dragon to yeet. An etherless, lifeless dragon to yeet. I was gonna reply to something I put. Put up online, and the reply is just, it's such a me reply. It's such a troll ass me reply. Task the Deacon with finding a certain item, you see. A secret weapon, one might say. Given what we know of profane Fafnir, I suspect it will be of great use in our hunt. Once the repairs are complete, we shall be ready to strike. With the church having reached an accord with the people, the risk of more clergymen turning is greatly diminished. We may now focus entirely on the blasphemy. Let's fucking go! 'Tis time we freed Evandro from his torment. Oh. I was like, why the did I get a pay? I got tagged in a comment, and I was like, huh? Anyway, Simon freed Evandro from his torment. Rest while you can, John, for I dare say the coming battle will demand the best of us. Oh please, I'm just gonna click yeet, and he's gonna get yeeted. That's literally how this game works. I click yeet, and the enemy gets yeeted, especially if it's a 1v1. If it's one of those 8v1s, then I'm just like, Ever march heavensward. Artorel as a site set on profane Fafnir. We get all the level 9 materia. Glad tidings, John. Since the Ecumenical Council, not a single soul has turned. Saving that knowledge, we need only think of how to hunt down the blasphemy. Man, I want those gloves. Ah, John, you're here too. Excellent. I'm pleased to say that the secret weapon is ready. We may now look to dealing with the profane Fafnir. Fafnir! I miss Vritra. 1.6.2 coming out. As you'll recall, when last we encountered it, it was lying in wait by the Soleil. An instinct driven by its inherited memories, I believe. It seeks to protect that which it most strongly associates with the Archbishop. In all likelihood, 'twas this selfsame motive that compelled it to come to the Holy See. From the skies above, it keeps watch over the Holy Vault. When Nexus sends, we shall exploit this instinct by using the secret weapon to lure it to the chancel. What exactly is the secret weapon? It is none other than the Fury's Grace, the holy Kreutzer of the Archbishop. Suspecting that Bishop of Artenoy had retrieved it from Azaslaw, I had Deacon Clem search his private quarters. My suspicions proved correct. With the Kreutzer in hand, I shall make it an irresistible bait for profane Fafnir. My lord, that is an unconscionable risk. There is no telling how the blasphemy will react. Indeed, but we can be confident that I will command his undivided attention, thus ensuring that no more of our citizens are placed in harm's way. If the Heavens Ward are the Archbishop's shields, then the Temple Knights are the people's. As leader of the Order, the risk is mine to bear. All the Knights of the Heavens Ward fell in Azaslaw. As a vessel for their memories, Vaindro may be considered the last of their number. Let us go, then, and relieve him of his nay. Their duty. Let us see to our preparations and proceed to the vault. We finish this once and for all. It's gonna be a duty, you know, command type thing. I'm gonna have to fail it once to get, you know. I got no time for this mode, and watch me beat it first try. Bowl of coconut cod chowder. Ooh, it's got coconut in it. There are people who have gotten like all of the role quests done. The Tribunal! Like, legit, they've got all the role quests done since Endwalker, and I'm just like, how the flying... It's actually pretty easy. You can get them all done in like a month. Told ya! It's a duty. If you're ready, then let us set forth. You need but say the word. 550. Oof. Well, this is meant to be done in the job gear. The beast has come! Now's our chance! Make ready. This man just has all the weapons. Hey, I should probably unsheath my weapon. To be my knights. Blasphemy! Profane Fafnir. What is this, a light warden? For the glory of King Thordan. No, you are not he. A trick. It is a trick. Forgive me, Sir Evandro, but for the sake of all Ashgardians, we must strike you down. Hey, yo! Hey, 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 yo! This should be easily done with Summoner and Black Mage, so...
It ends here!
The hell? Oh, I pressed the button.
You underestimate me!
Oh. Oh, fuck me!
There! Do not underestimate me! There! We must stand our ground! You underestimate me!
Oh boy. This is a bit rough. I don't know who it is that's casting that spell. I'm not taking that. Emmerich the Blue Ironbone. Oh, I got smacked. That was accidental?
This knight does not yield.
Transfer post is where the doublement. We did it first try. Let's go. It's because we had backup. And someone was healing me constantly. It feels like it was the boy Artorio. Finally, it is over. Yeah. Thus ends the tale of the Heaven's Ward. Let it not be forgotten. 'Twas wrong of them to conceal the truth of our nation's founding, to abet the Archbishop in his machinations. Yet, in peering into their hearts, one thing became clear. They too had succumbed to primal manipulation. They too were victims. Flawed men, aye, and not without sin, but Ishgardians brave and true, as we all aspire to be. Having triumphed in the battle of ideals, I have responsibility to all our people. Their hopes and dreams, their sorrow and suffering are mine to bear, and bear them I shall. For had you not vanquished King Thordan, or had I erred in but one of my choices, maybe Horshaphant would be alive. No, he wouldn't be alive. Oh, that actually I may well have been the first to succumb to despair, to be reborn to blasphemy. That, yeah. A ridiculous notion. I'm more like to become a beast than you. That's the me reply. Gotta go with that one. Thank you, my friend, for having such confidence in me. Like, ridiculous. I'm more likely to happen. Oh. My apologies. My apologies. 'Twas not mine intent to wax sentimental. Our work here is done. Let us return to the congregation. Congregation! Why did I say it like that? Twice now. I don't know. I really don't. The 2-hour video might be getting to me finally. Is this the end of the quest? Doesn't look like it. Firmalbert. I like Firmalbert. They've got a nice name. Yeah, it's not the end of the quest. Sad. John, permit me to offer my gratitude for helping us to overcome not only the blasphemy, but the despair which spawned it. But this is only the beginning. On the face of it, we have made tremendous strides in breaking down ancient barriers within our society, but there yet remain great rifts to be bridged. It is no easy thing to rise above a lifetime of preconceptions and prejudice. I myself have struggled to do so, as you must know. But I shan't give up. On the honor of my house, I will do everything in my power to build a new Ishgard, one in which all people can see eye to eye, regardless of birth and station. Now then, I believe the deacon has some words for you too. Pray lend him an ear. My lord John, may I say how glad I am that you are safe and well. Just before you arrived, Lord Emmerich explained to you the true nature of the man who became the blasphemy. The poor confused creature was born of the church's mistakes, and on behalf of the clergy, I give you my heartfelt thanks for laying it to rest. As we work to reform our institutions and rebuild our relationship with the people, we will remember and pray for all those who have fallen in service to the faith. And we shall pray for you as well. Wheresoever your path may lead, may the Fury ever watch over and keep you. Considering she's my patron deity, I would hope so. I shall leave it at that then. Lord Emmerich too wishes to speak. It would not do to keep him waiting. John, Lord Arturel, I thank you for the vital roles you played in ridding us of the profane Fafnir. I keep calling it the profane Fafnir. It's just profane Fafnir. As ever, the sight of you in combat was nothing short of inspiring. Of course. With no further reported instances of people turning on the blasphemy itself no more, I should like to believe we are free of the scourge of despair. My brethren and I shall labor to see that it ever remains so by fighting to dispel the darkness in men's hearts. It's funny, I started this video off with a yawn and I'm probably going to end it with a yawn too. Clem! And I shall fight with you, not only as the Speaker of the House of Lords or the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, but as a man of faith, in our God and in our people. Together, let us strive to fill our nation with hope. Aye aye, Captain! John, by now you will be sick unto death of being thanked, but I must nonetheless express an additional word of gratitude. Full oft have you saved our nation, our people. I speak not only for our lives, but our hearts and minds as well. Can I have those gloves then? You have given us a great gift, that of opportunity and choice, and if we are to repay you for it, we as a nation must take full advantage of our freedom to dictate a new course forward into a brighter future. What forward means we may not always agree upon, but as fellow guardians we shall find a way to rise above our differences and stand united. That is the nation that I will strive to build. This I swear to you. John, given all that you have done for us, I am loath to impose further, but may I trouble you to bear word of our success to our officer in Razat Han. We'll of course be sending a report, but there's no substitute for a first-hand account. Our allies would benefit from the additional details you can provide as well. Thanks again, my friend, and may the Fury speed your way. Woo! I can't believe it actually took like 2 hours. That is evil. Zatan! Man, I don't got the money for all this. At least they didn't have us leave Ishgard. Much. We went to like Falcon's Nest once. But my Lord John, by your return there, I hope that the hunt for the blasphemy was a success. Blah, blah, blah. That you would vanquish the beast comes as little surprise, but this occasion would serve as impetus for the church to embark upon a path of reform is incredible. I will share these joyous tidings with our allies without delay. If I may speak candidly, I must confess to being a great admirer of yours. When you have a moment, I should like to hear about some of your adventures, if you do me the honor. For the present, however, in my official capacity as this guardian delegate, I offer you my humblest thanks for your measurable service to our nation. Well, you can now dye the job-specific gear for level 90 magical range DPS. Do I still have that? Anyway, with that, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay bright. Oh, stream tomorrow, 4 a.m. Pacific time, in like 11 hours. See you guys then. Bye-bye.